there was talk about 155 Enoch, right? Which
Right.
when we were back there in March, I kind of went up in that area, Enoch and Hutch Court, and
Hmm.
I kind of wanted to search those woods in the back up on the hill. It slopes up pretty drastically going up to a hill in the very back, and it's all private property. But at
Yeah.
the end of Enoch, there was a little bit of construction, and
Hmm.
there was a couple houses there towards the end. And interestingly enough, 155 Enoch is one of those houses. But you were talking about Briley Parkway. What's up with that?
Yeah. 155 is also uh, Briley Parkway. Um, that's what it's known as in the state or highway 155 is Briley Parkway, which leads you in two different directions around Nashville. It can lead
North.
you all the way. It can lead you all the way downtown Nashville and all the way out to Franklin and Brentwood area and Green Hills.
What, north and south?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
The
along the
it's
river. It's along the Cumberland River, ain't it?
definitely.
Because I remember going on that road when we were looking for Riley's strain.
Yeah, we went on Raleigh Parkway looking for Raleigh. Or you all did. Um, so that's the two things that I'm thinking of is the 155 Enoch is actually owned by TB.
So, is that for sure?
100%. I looked it up. Yeah, it's 100%. It's owned by him.
Do you know the purchase date?
I do not. I didn't get that far into it before diving down another rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah, let me look up
The
exact
house says
what
it was
what
built
house.
in 2020.
Let me
That
see
house
here.
said it was built in 2020.
Let me look up the exact house because I wish I knew the date of when I went up there because I have GoPro footage
Hmm.
up there, but
And
I
it's
don't
up by where
remember.
you were talking. It's
I
up and
don't
to the
remember
left
what
like you
date.
were talking.
Yeah, I don't remember what date it was because that was right before we got the message on the video, hey, you're not allowed to search the neighborhood.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's okay. What date? Does anybody remember what date it was in the very beginning. It was March or very early April.
It had to have been late March because in early April is whenever I met you. I know you and the big team that came to look for Sebastian after all your subscribers were begging you to. Um, we all met up on April 6th.
Yeah, I'll have to look through that footage. Yeah, I can't find it right now. I'd
Yeah.
have to look through the footage to see because that's interesting. Because that right there is the same woods. So that day, and you can see it on the live stream. It's on a live stream from before. You can see it on a live stream. We were driving up there. I had you guys on the dash. I was taking footage out the side, like I did, with the other areas. And
Hmm.
that's where you can see me coming up to the construction pile at the end of the Enoch and kind of doing a turnaround or whatever. So if anybody does come across that one, send me the date and the link if you don't mind, because I'd like to go through that footage and see uh, exactly what was going on at that time period. Because I remember there was some odd stuff going on that day. Um, I'd like to go through that. April 10th, maybe. It might have been. Yeah, if you guys find the link. So Briley Parkway, though, back to that Nashville. Uh,
Mhm.
so that goes all the way up to where?
Briley Parkway goes around Opryland and down through Donaldson over by the airport, where it turns into Thompson Lane. If you go the other direction, Briley Parkway goes all the way up and around Green Hills area.
So that kind of goes up and around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes up and around. It goes by the old prison.
The old prison. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because like when it came to the reward, it was when I first saw it, I was like, wow, that's a odd number. Usually it ends in a 000 or a five
Yeah,
zero
no,
zero.
for
You
them to
know,
post that number, it had to mean something. It definitely usually ends in a zero.
225, the date Sebastian was last seen that night, the night of the
Yep.
25th, 225,
Mm-hmm.
155. So when you're thinking Briley Parkway, what are you thinking then when it comes to the 155?
I don't know, man. Briley Parkway is a quick, not as congested way to get out of the area with as least amount of traffic cameras there as possible.
Interesting. Yeah, you're right. That is where they found the glasses. We found that out back in April. Um, Now I'm almost positive I searched Briley Parkway actually. The underpasses, there
Yep.
was there homeless encampments uh under the overpasses? Because I remember searching some
Over.
underpasses and there was a lot of old, they must have fled from the tornado. There was old homeless
Mm-hmm.
encampments. Um
Yeah. There's several tornadoes that hit around the Madison, Goodlettsville, Rivergate area. It's destroyed a whole lot of stuff.
oh yeah.
Um,
I seen it when I was out there.
and I mean, you saw the damage that was in Rivergate with that dealership when we were there. It was just destroyed. It used to be a Toyota dealership.
Yeah,
Um,
you can still see leftover,
mhm.
effects that haven't been cleaned up yet
Yeah,
from that storm. Uh,
yeah. The 155 Enoch really stands out to me because who I found it was purchased by, and that would be TB. And it's also a second generation construction,
second generation construction.
which is Big D from the Bowersox area. The guys,
Well, I mean, that is where they found the glasses. Now they determined that the glasses had no connection, way back in
yeah,
April.
I don't
Um,
know if I believe that or not, but
you don't know if that you believe it, so you think that
no,
that they didn't really test
it
it
could
or
No, it could be something they said to throw people off.
Oh, you mean like they were connected, but they're telling people that they weren't.
Right.
What do you think their goal would be to do that? Like, what would they do that? Why would they need to mislead the public in that part for
Mm,
the investigation?
Not exactly sure how the glasses got put out there in the first place.
Well, of
Um,
course. Well, yeah, when
if
it
they
came
were
to who
leaked,
found him, you know.
if they were leaked like a video was leaked, that we know, um, then they could be trying to cover it up. I don't know. Just an opinion. Definitely something sketchy going on there. That's my opinion on what the 155 means.
What's you think somewhere along that route, or
Yeah.
that's the
It's
route they
not a.
took to leave with him? Well, here, let me ask you this. Do you think your opinion, and it's your opinion, you know, do you
Mhm.
think do you number 1, do you think he walked out the door? Do you think he was taken? Do you think something happened? And number 2, do you think he's here? Do you think he's somewhere? Like, what's your 2, how do you think it took place, and then what do you think is going on right now
I,
currently?
I absolutely do not think he walked out on his own accord. I think if he did, then we would have found him by now. I absolutely believe there was foul play. I don't know at which point, but there was, or a cover up of some sort. I hope that he's alive. In my gut, I don't think so.
Mm.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
we
just how I
we
feel.
all yeah, we all hope, you know what I'm saying? I still feel like he is. I feel
Yeah.
I've always kind of felt, I don't know, no matter is what comes out, to me, I still feel like
So,
somebody has him. Uh, he's somewhere, um, and you know, one of these days, poof, I feel he's going to end up popping up. Um,
yeah, I
so,
hope he pops up.
so when it comes to the Briley Parkway, do you think that's where he might? This is why I asked you what your theory was,
Uh-huh.
because when it comes to Briley Parkway, do you feel that that's where they left through to get out
Yes.
with him, or is that where you think they put him, or is that,
Nope. I think
what's
that's the route they took to get away. If it's Briley Parkway, they took Briley Parkway to I-40 to get out of town. It goes completely around Nashville. It does not have security cameras like you would if you went through Goodlettsville or Hendersonville to get to 386. It's all back roads straight down Dickerson Road. You can get to Briley Parkway, and it just makes the most sense to me.
so you don't think, because you said that you hope he's alive, but you don't think, in your opinion. Uh,
No, I don't.
so do you think he's on Briley Parkway, or do you think he's completely somewhere else?
I think he's completely somewhere else.
Where do you think he is?
I I don't know, man. Something still tells me I-40
I
at
40.
um, Cuba Landing. That still is in my mind. Maybe not at the marina, but in that area. There's something that's telling me that has not been checked that we can confirm. I mean, I went down there and I did a recon of the marina and everything. There is a camera there, but it's only pointed at the boat ramp. There's plenty of places of opportunity. It just depends on what the scenario is.
What's your scenario? Like, out of all the stuff, because I know you've been invested in it from the beginning too, like a lot of us here,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
tonight, as soon as you hear it, you're instantly invested. And we went, we showed how much we've been invested from the beginning too, not only with our
We
efforts here, but our efforts out there. What
we've had sleepless nights, man, that we just sit there and think about this. You
well,
know,
let me
we I don't know.
let me ask you this though, because you said foul play. Now, I think foul play, because foul play can mean a lot of different things. I think foul play, when
Hmm.
it comes to what I feel like there was two people, um, kind of like what I've been saying, where somebody accidentally left the back door unlocked and two people uh, came in. One was making sure everything was quiet if somebody woke up or whatever, who knows. The other one was to grab and take him. And that's why I really feel like those two lights have something to do with what took place. It's not a coincidence, that they're,
No,
regardless of what time it was, the timestamps broke, who cares? It's not it's, there's a reason. And I feel like something like that took place. And so that's the foul play I'm talking about. What foul play are you talking about? Like, as in what? Because you don't think
something
he's
happened
hearing
that I think something happened that they didn't mean to happen. They, as in whoever did it, not pointing any fingers at any specific people.
an accident.
Um, an accident, I think, and then someone probably panicked and cleaned up the accident. I mean, you and I and the team have went out there multiple times, along with all the letter agencies and other YouTubers and other teams and everything.
A lot of people. A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people. And we know he's not in that area. I mean, we thought that at the end of the day when we stopped that last search we did together. We all felt the same way. Something was wrong. We're not coming up with any clues. We're not even coming up with anything at all,
No, there's
you
nothing.
know?
That's one of the frustrating things as I've been kind of working on home stuff this week. And it's kind of like what I was saying in the intro. Like, there's so much clickbait out there right now with Sebastian Rogers. It's
Oh,
disgusting to this. It's disgusting to the soul. You
it's
know what I mean?
sickening, man.
It is. It's sickening. And
It's sickening that people are trying to get clicks and views off the back of a really horrible thing that happened to a young man that didn't even have a chance to grow up yet.
yeah, people saying all sorts of stuff. There's even another individual that was making a comedy skit, about people that are part of this case. And
Yeah, I
you
saw
just
that.
you have to sit and wonder, like, couldn't you
I
take
saw
that
that.
energy and use it for another purpose?
Yeah.
Regardless if you agree or not, it's about finding Sebastian. It's not about your own personal achievements, or,
No,
you know what I'm
not about
saying?
personal gain. It's about finding a young man that needs to be found. You
Yeah,
know,
so when it comes to all that, yeah, that's the thing. There's the only thing that we know is what took place on February 26th, 2024.
Right.
And it, we can only discuss so many times what law enforcement releases, and that's honestly all we can
Yeah.
go from.
They haven't released. They haven't released shit since like what, March,
I mean,
April.
it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Yeah. They
So
haven't released anything.
that's
Nobody's gotten any closer.
no. I
I
mean,
don't
there
care who you
really
are.
there could be so many different things. There could be, and that's why, that's why I asked you like what you thought took place and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because to me it's all legitimate. It all definitely could be a possibility. Um, you know, but it's like we got to really focus on the things that are there and not all the extra side shows and
Hmm.
circuses going on the left and the right window. You start
Yep.
focusing on that stuff too much, and then you're going to hit something. And you just got to be focused. Now, what we do know is that there's no direction. We don't know the direction he even was taken, left, whatever happened. We don't even know the direction. Um, now, uh, when it comes to what you think took place, though, do you think there was an accident? Do you think they made it home from the restaurant?
I don't think they made it home from the restaurant personally.
So you think there was an accident somewhere else?
Yes.
Do you think that's where the tip is coming from when it comes to the odd number, the reward?
That's possible. It's very possible. I know this new breadcrumbs that we've been giving. Who knows? I mean, we can all speculate on what we think it is. You know,
Well,
and go ahead.
if you were able to focus, okay. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate you all as well. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. If you could focus on a particular area based off all the stuff that you've experienced and researched and thought about, what specific location and where would you focus on when it comes to an answer about where he could be, or it might lead you to somewhere? What area would you focus on?
I would definitely focus on Enoch Way. I would tear that subdivision apart if I could.
Well, that has been searched from law enforcement, and it's been searched from Seth's own team as well.
Every house.
The woods back there.
Yeah, but that's not every house.
Oh, the
Um,
house. Oh, you mean the house
yeah,
itself, inside the house.
yeah, exactly,
Oh,
exactly. There's a reason that CP said many months ago, you're not allowed to search my house or my relatives' houses. He spoke for the entire family.
well, yeah, he spoke for the entire neighborhood when
Yeah.
he left that message that Pascal did a show about.
Hmm. Yeah,
Now,
there's
not allowed to search the whole neighborhood.
right. I don't know,
Mm.
man. It's been 9 months. I never thought it would be 9 months. I thought it would be maybe two. I thought with
Or
all the
or an
searching.
or something,
Yeah,
not even finding him, but if he did, because what we can only thing we can go off of is that he left outside the house with no shoes and no cell phone, which you're out of your mind if a teenager's walking out without shoes and a cell phone.
exactly. I never
Unless
believed
they're
that from day one.
unless they're running for their life, because, you know, You got to put yourself back then, and would you leave without those? No, especially if you're leaving to walk
No,
away. The one thing you do need is your shoes,
he never walked away. I've
before
got that
go.
out of my mind. He never voluntarily walked out that door. He didn't do it. Nobody can make me believe he did that. He just didn't do it. He was taken out that door, or he was carried out that door. Did
He
not
did.
leave on his own.
No, he didn't walk out that door because if he did, then back in May wouldn't have came to the conclusion that he didn't walk out the door because at that point we would have came across something. Somebody would have came across something. You see the
Yeah.
search that they had on the big TV screen that Nick Barris was
Yep.
showing you. Um, to me, what do
He,
you think about the manholes? How
the
what's your
manholes,
percentage on the manholes being legit?
I don't know if I can put it into percentages, but those manholes have haunted us since the day we put eyes on them. There's the new construction that's constantly changing. Um, that is so different from April. Um, the manholes are with all the mud you've seen going down through those manholes. He could still be in there if that's where he's at.
If he did.
Even with the hurricane.
Yeah, I know, because I've been there. I've been there multiple times, documenting each time, and over time you can see it when it was full with mud and a little bit of water, to where it was cleaned out a couple feet in, and it was full of mud after that, and then
Yeah,
after they smoothed it out and made it look nice. And then after that, the hurricane came through and washed more mud in. There was a lot of different stages and there was a lot of mud in there. I
there
kind
was
of
a
showed you
lot of
guys like when we were up there searching that construction area, and I was telling you that 75% of those manholes didn't have a lid on them, and a lot of them were the ones going down the road that is paved right now, but it was just a dirt road back then in the very beginning when we searched it. And you could tell, I showed you guys the video of those drains that go on the curb, and how they're talking about how you got to rake out the leaves, and when y- they probably left the covers off because they would constantly, like, probably every
there were
day or every week, have to unclog them because they would
there
get
were so
clogged up
many
from.
covers. There were so many covers missing back then.
Hmm.
It's still very new, that construction area.
It's a lot of money to dig
That
up.
that retention pond, man. That chocolate milk look it had back then, just it still haunts me.
Yeah, it looked like
Still haunts
reddish
me.
clay color,
It
or
looked like chocolate milk. Yeah, it was reddish clay, but
like a
the
clay look.
consistent.
Oh yeah, it was mostly mud, that's for sure, and it was that
Yeah,
quicksand, gooey,
and
uh,
every
like
step, every step that Trey took that day, I was hoping the next step would find him. I really was. And man, when Trey and I found that hat, I quit breathing for a couple seconds. I
well,
literally did.
speaking about quitting breathing, man, I kind of quit breathing tonight with Seth's live. Just
Oh,
hurting for him. Regard.
that cat was flying so quick, I had to turn it off. My eyes were killing me. Um, but
Yeah, I couldn't even see it.
to listen to him broke my heart, man. I mean, if you had any thought in your mind that that man had anything to do with this, after tonight, that thought has got to be gone.
You could
That
I
man
know
is broken.
you could see, yeah, it's the most exhausted
Yeah, that man is broken.
that that
And,
we've seen.
you know, we all feel for him. We don't know what he's going through, but we feel for him.
Yeah. And then you got Christmas coming up, you got New Year's, and then you got the day he
Yeah,
went missing coming up too, and it's especially during these holidays, even without missing loved ones, it's still what's up,
yeah,
Mama Kay? It's still a hard time for people during the holidays because there's a lot of people out there that are missing loved ones and also don't get to see loved ones as well. And so it's a really hard time for those individuals, especially
yeah.
this time of year. So, um,
Personally, for me, the holidays suck. So
yeah,
I look forward to them being over more than I look forward to them coming.
yeah. So you just got to send extra prayers just as a human being. Um,
Mm.
you know, so what you don't think the 155, so you think that something else
There's
took
two options.
place. Oh, two options, either something 155 or something up in Gallatin on Enoch. Um,
Yeah.
how far away on 155 are you talking? Are you talking Nashville? Or are you talking
No, I'm
the
talking
next
about getting
state
the hell
over?
out of Dodge. I'm talking about taking 155 over to 40, which is the most traveled state in America, and getting the hell out of Dodge,
Where do you
or
think
going
the
I can't say, man,
where do you think the hell out of Dodge is?
out of the area, completely out of the area. Um,
Another state? Two states? Three states across the border?
no, I think it was just out of the Nashville area.
Do you
Is
think
what
it's a
I'm.
combination of both? Like they took 155
They took
to
155 to get away from the area. Is
get away
what I'm feeling
after, after or during?
after something
After.
happened. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
So you don't think there was? Do you think the green hoodie and the other individual? Uh,
I personally think the green hoodie is going to come up to be nothing.
you think it's
I think that was an individual being nice and just said something quick to her and left. I'm not convinced they have anything to do with it.
so you don't think he made it home? You think something took place on accident in another
Hmm?
location?
Yep.
So you don't even think that he came home?
No.
So where would his shoes be that, there's talk about the New Balance that he was wearing leaving the restaurant. Um, do you think that
Shoes
cuz
could
I
have returned home. The shoes could have returned home, but he didn't.
okay, I got you. It's very interesting, man. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, I
I
was
mean, we
only
all
going
have
to
our theories, thoughts, and opinions.
Well, no,
But
it's nice digging in on a phone call cuz normally when you're up here on panel, we're just kind of discussing, you know, um, what everybody else is talking about. But since it's just one-on-one phone call, I was
Yeah,
only gonna do like 5 minutes a call, but dude, it's very interesting conversation. Kind of exploring all the different things. Um, so you
yeah,
really feel that 155 uh
there's
really
something.
has, and then you looked it up, and certain individuals bought it, and then there's a what
Hmm.
about a construction company? A what?
Certain individuals, family member that owns a certain construction company built that house.
Oh, they built it.
Hmm. Doesn't mean they're involved. Just saying that they built it.
Somebody said
Just
in chat it was December 28th of 2020.
yeah, 2020 is what I found out is when it was built.
Hmm.
I don't know who when they purchased it, but that's when it was built.
When it come to forensics, Matthew, I don't believe so, but according to Ken Widener, there was multiple searches with canines inside the home.
I don't think they did any forensics. They were going off of a runaway kid in the beginning.
Hmm.
He walked out that door in the beginning. So they had no intention of doing forensics.
Yeah, with
Forensics
it.
9 months later doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, it's like I've said, like even if it's a reported story, think about how many parents say that their child left on their own and they really didn't after, but usually something turns up, you know,
Yep.
usually something turns up. If nothing turns up and it is some kind of abduction, then usually it's, oh my gosh, I noticed the window was open when I woke up, or the door was unlocked, or, there's something that leads, there's a direction. There's a direction.
Right.
Um, and that's, with this one, there is no direction. Supposedly everything was closed up like Fort Knox. But at the same time, a door can be unlocked, it can be left unlocked. Just because it's locked doesn't mean it can't be unlocked.
There's
Just
always a
because it's,
direction.
yeah.
There's
And
always a direction in everything.
there's
In this
plenty of
case, I
times.
believe,
Go ahead, man.
the direction was omitted to set a narrative.
Was invented to set a narrative.
Omitted, not mentioned, omitted.
Well, I mean, it's just like we're all human. We lock our keys in our cars. We lock our keys inside our homes. We do stuff like that. We make mistakes. We got a lot of stuff on our mind. Uh,
Yep.
so accidents can happen. It's
Hmm.
just because,
You
even
get
with,
upset
think
in the
about
heat
it.
of a moment. You make mistakes.
Well, think about it like, when I was, when I was uh, raising my daughter, like
Hmm.
when there's how many times can anybody that's a parent, how many times have you asked your child if they locked the door when they came in, and they just said it, and just because they were just being lazy for that moment, yeah, I locked it, and then you
That's
go to
like,
look
did
and
you?
you're like, you didn't lock it, when they could have literally turned around and locked it. But that's just being a teenager, you know?
That's just like
Um,
saying to your kids, "Did you make your bed?" "Yes, ma'am."
did you clean your
Knowing good
room?
and well they didn't. Knowing good and well they didn't do it.
Yeah.
You
You
know.
know, the one thing that I don't, if there really was a thud, Um, disability or not, I'm I'm gonna get up and find out if everything's okay.
You're gonna get me sued if you go down that road.
Because you don't know. You know how, no, for real though, you know how bad you would feel if your child hurt themselves and you didn't go look, and then the next morning you go in there and they're laying there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why
Yeah,
you get up and go look.
I get up and go look with it being an adult. If I hear a thud, I don't
Whoa.
care who did it. I'm going to look.